Hello and welcome to Camera Reviews. Got this little beauty, The Englishman and The Eel by Stuart Freedman, published by Dewi Lewis. It's a right big lad, this thing. It's that sort of lovely small, I wouldn't say pocket, I'll never get that in my pocket, but it almost feels like the Hoxton Mini Press style. A bit bigger though, a lot more pages, a lot thicker. Look at that for a photography book. Great piece of work this. Stuart Freedman, great photographer, good lad. So it's published in 2017. It's 224 mammoth pages. Let's have a look at it. I will leave you the link for Stuart's website, for Dewi Lewis. Okay, so how big is this thing? Just under 7 by 9, 7 by 9. That's a nice size, a bit bigger than a zine size, but I tell you what, it's heavy. It's well worth the money. I will leave. The best place to probably buy this is straight from Stuart or Dewi Lewis, but you can go on Amazon if you want. But for me, I bought it straight from Stuart the best way, because they get the full amount of money, which is deservedly so. So, lovely cover. It's got a nice texture here. It's got the sort of picture on top, and it's got a lovely, almost fabric-based cover and back. I think it's case bound. I think that's what you call it. Pie and eel. I'm sure that many of you watch this, especially if you live in the UK, but more so if you live in London, that you've been to a pie and mash shop. I have. I love pie and mash. I'm not too much a fan on the liquor, and I'm not a fan of eels, but I do like a bit of pie and mash with a bit of gravy on. Absolutely delicious. And traditionally, the East End is synonymous to what I call the pie and mash shop, but obviously the pie and eel shop, or whatever you want to call it, is maybe a better known name for it. I don't know. I'm not an expert. I'm an expert at eating pies, though. As Stuart states in some of the text, I think this was a way to document some of the most interesting and significant shops as a tribute to this, as he says, timeless institution, the palaces of memory. Again, cultural change. There's obviously a lot less shops and cafes or whatever you want to call them, which are left and still working. And I think they're still surviving. And I think Stuart's just showing the beauty of it, the culture, the social interaction, the coming together, the industrial side, the economic side. He's just bringing it together, and I think it's a lovely book. Let's have a look through it. I don't want to give you. There's no answers to it. I'm not going to sit here and profess anything. There is a few little things I want to talk about, but nothing in any way which will take you away from the fact that it's a mammoth book on the pie and mash shop. I'm going to call it pie and mash shop, even though it's got The Englishman and The Eel on it. And I'm not going to pretend to know any different. One thing for me, knowing Stuart's work, is that there are a lot of verticals in this book. And I would guess that lends itself to the format. And I wondered if that the vertical side came in as he was designing the book. I know Stuart's very hands-on and will have probably designed this himself, at least 99% of it. And I wondered if that was part of the process, because obviously a book like this lends itself to a lot of verticals. And I've never really associated Stuart's work as a vertical style photographer. He's very much more, in my eyes, a horizontal styled photographer, with that sort of 35mm feel. Signed, as you know. Stuart's work, if you know some of his Indian and sort of Central Asian work, is beautiful. It's very I don't know, passive is the wrong word to use, but he uses light very passively and very, very subtly, and he loves that whole atmospheric approach to his work. He's probably watching us, laughing his head off, saying, "You've got it wrong," but this is my opinion. I love this. What a great opener. Ironically, with the format, you're going to get that gutter, and it's worked totally. It's seamless. It's just lovely. And for me, that question mark again of that vertical. There's a lot of verticals, as I said. Just to open it with such a massive, beautiful horizontal is amazing. So the London's Ambrosia, Michael Collins. A bit of text. Classic backdrop to East End. I'm very familiar with that. That route, that area. So you're going shots inside, outside. Some of the features, very, very traditional tiles and the wood separators and benches like that. There's very traditional markers and symbols of these cafes. Quite basic, but obviously very productive areas, and old style stuff, which I'm sure has been around for a long time, machinery and things like that. Again, that beautiful vertical, and I like the way Stuart's added some of this format, because I think I've seen books in this format where they've used this picture style a lot, and it doesn't work. And I love the fact that Stuart's used a little bit of it and then gone on, with the double page and then using the vertical. I think very contemporary style images with that old sort of documentary style as well. And I'm not going to show you all of this because I don't want to. I think you should buy it. I think you should go to Stuart's website, or Dewi Lewis's again, and buy it. Again, that Stuart's classic, I think, that atmospheric style of feel. He loves atmosphere and loves subtle style imagery. Great shot, one of my favourites. I love the historical aspects of the shop, and this is such a great shot. Fantastic coming together. This stuff doesn't just happen, You've got to be there. He must have eaten some pie and mash and eels, maybe. He must have eaten well on these things. Again, I'm skimming through the shots. I'm not going to show everybody the shots because I don't think that would be fair to Stuart. And like I said, I just want to promote his work and get you out there to get out and buy it. And there's 240 odd pages in here, 224. There's a lot of photography in here. He's quite an accomplished photographer, Stuart. And what you're buying here is a piece of history. And 25 quid, I think, maybe, is nothing for the amount of insight, knowledge and work which gone into this by a photographer. It's cheap. We have a saying up north, it's cheap as cheesy chips, but probably not cheesy chips. Cheesy chips is probably the wrong thing. God, I love shooting through windows. I love that dynamics. It's such a great shot. But even just to get that, get that concept there with the reflection, that emotion, that passiveness, and that thought, that pondering, reflection of the lady. Great. Stuart, I think for me, Stuart's strength is this style. He's very good at that. And natural light not available light, what he's using. Very clean. Beautiful. Takes some work doing this. I think people who don't know how photography works, and they're just, we all, you might like photography, you might follow it, you might do it as a sort of hobby and stuff, but for the storytellers to get out there and tell a story, the commitment, the sacrifice, the fire, the wanting to tell a story and show something it's a lot of hard work, I can appreciate the amount of time Stuart's put into this, and I'm skimming through this, and maybe in 10, 15, 20 years a lot of these shops won't be here, but this book will, and it's a limited edition, it's a first edition. Go out and buy it, get it. The Englishman and the Eel. I'm very jealous that Stuart's able to do an essay at the end of this, and going back to the process of capturing the eels to get them into the shop, which is a very good perspective on Stuart's part of adding some more dimension to the storyline. And that's my sort of shop. There's the stuff I look out for when I'm taking pictures, and so there's the liquor, which I like to a degree, but I prefer gravy. But oh God, I could eat them. Hi mash, that's what it's about. Obviously, if you like eels, you put a couple of eels in, but some referencing to indexing that to the shots. Yeah, well done, Stuart. That's a lovely book. Love the use of verticals. Love the concept. You've done some hard work into that, mate. The links I will put down there. Get out and buy this piece of history. A good present to give to somebody who likes food, who likes history, who likes culture, who likes photography, who likes documentary. Dewi Lewis, Stuart Freedman. I'll put the links down there. Thank you.